come, you can ponder how that's going to fit into one of the readings. So on the November 16th, I ordered fig trees. And it said they could come anywhere between November 20th and December 4th. So I looked at the probability of them coming on the 3rd or the 4th. It didn't seem that great, so I went and ordered them, and they're not here yet. So the symbol of hope is a fig tree, and today we're really practicing faith is the thing. Faith is things hoped for, things not seen. Okay, so picture a little fig tree. That's your symbol for today. Imagine you're expecting company to come on the morning of December 24th. The people who are coming are lifelong friends. They're those people that you can just hang out with. That sometimes you worry a little bit, like, will we be uncomfortable? And then when you sit down with your cup of coffee, it's like no time has passed. They're coming for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and you are so ready. But what do you do while you wait? Well, how would you wait for these friends? Would you just sit and stare out the window from now until the 24th? Would you think that every car that pulls up, maybe it's them, could it be them? We do not sit when we wait for someone to come on the 24th. Instead, we live. We pay the bills. We clean the bathroom floor. We bake. We go to Christmas concerts. We help our neighbor. We find time to just sit and reflect. We attend funerals of people we love. This time of waiting is not inactivity. Instead, it is living. Living life in our ordinary, beautiful, painful moments. Because if we just sat at the window and wrung our hands, if we only worried, we would miss the now. We would miss what's happening right in our lives. As beautiful and as painful as it is, we wait. We wait with anticipation. As a pastor, I hear often, do you think this is the end, Pastor? Especially with texts like today, all the signs. Do you think this is a sign? I'm like, probably. He's coming. He's coming again, right? So it could be a sign. Does it mean tomorrow? Probably not. But it's also good news, right? If we truly believe Jesus is coming back, the Left Behind series did such a disservice. It's not about fear and worry. It is about joy and anticipation and hope. But while we wait, we clean the bathroom, we pay the bills, we go to the funerals, we live the here and now, as beautiful and painful as it can be. But if we worry, if we have fear, if all we do is have regret of the past, we become paralyzed. We hear about worry in our gospel today. The word in Luke 21 is we hear the nations are in distress. What does that word mean in Greek? It could also be confused, bewildered, perplexed. The Greek is actually not knowing what to do. That's what we do when we stand and look out the window, when we're not cleaning, when we're not taking care of our neighbor. Not knowing what to do is paralyzing, and it usually doesn't come with hope. So we live as people who have these real feelings of fear, of anxiety. We have feelings of worry and hatred. Anne Lamott, in her newest book, Almost Everything, Notes on Hope, she reflects on her own journey, how she got stuck and what needed to happen to get unstuck. Anne Lamott. Hate weighed me down and muddled my thinking. It isolated me and caused my shoulders to hunch, the opposite of sticking together and lifting our hands and eyes to the sky. The hunch changes our posture because our shoulders slump, and it changes our vision as we scowl and paw the ground. So as a radical act, we give up the hate and the hunch the best we can. We square our shoulders and lift our gaze. Advent is the opposite of worry. Both are future though, right? Usually guilt is in the past, but worry is in the future. All the things I worry about on a daily basis are all out there somewhere. About 90% of them never happen, but I worry, right? It's future. Hope is also future. I'm hoping those friends come on December 21st or 24th. There's no guarantee they will, but the hope makes me go through the motions with a little bit of joy, with some anticipation, with some sense that when I clean that bathroom, my friends are going to be there. When I change the sheets, they're going to be staying over. There's a sense of anticipation that we do not have with worry. Worry only paralyzes us. Hope gives us a little bit of joy no matter what our circumstances are. Because to say we live with hope is not to say everything's just fine. We live real people in real lives with real pain, with real loss, and with hope. This first weekend in Advent, we hear those words of anticipation from Jeremiah when he says, "The days are surely coming." What an optimist. The people in Jeremiah's day did not know peace. The Assyrians had taken them captive, and yet he has the audacity to say the days are surely coming. And all of us know about that. We know about those days sitting in hospital rooms, cleaning out our parents' homes, those days when we're recovering from an illness or a disease, and we say the days are surely coming. It hasn't happened yet, but we live with hope that it is on its way. Jeremiah gives us a picture of the anticipation and hope we have no matter what our circumstances, because he was speaking these words to people who were not living Ward and June Cleaver's life. And then we get to the gospel. Jesus says, "Now when these things begin to take place, stand up, raise your heads, because your redemption is drawing near." He is not talking about the beautiful things in life, right? We just heard all these signs and all this turmoil. And what are you supposed to do? Hide yourself in the corner? Absolutely not. He says, stand up, raise your heads, lift up your eyes. Your redemption is drawing near. We sometimes forget that. We sometimes forget that in the midst of the tragedy and the horror of life, that God says, stand up. The word in Greek is actually much more picturesque. It is bend yourself back. If you do yoga, it probably helps a little bit to envision that. Bend yourself back up and look up and trust that this God keeps God's promises. We are gathering during Advent, during some of the darkest days of the entire year and the long, long nights of December. And I love this season of Advent because there's not the shallow sentiment that we often hear at the holidays. There's no false cheer. We call a thing what it is during Advent. And I love that the gospel lessons throughout Advent do not have images of swaddling clothes and nice fluffy lambs or twinkling stars. But we hear about the world as it is. Because every one of us either heard the news this morning or read the news. Every one of us is walking into the holidays with some kind of stress or loss or pain. We name it what it is. We don't leave it in that pain. Instead, we say this God is a God who breaks in even now. Maybe even while we're scrubbing the bathroom floor. While we're helping our neighbor. While we're grocery shopping. We declare that this is a gorgeous, fragile, falling apart, beautiful world. We proclaim that as Advent people. And in Advent, we are called to hope creatively. We hope against the grain. Or as Barbara Brown Taylor puts it, we're called to trust that darkness does not come from a different place than light. It is not presided over by a different God. With our imaginations, we can take the long view as we dwell currently, concretely, here and now, with all the beauty and all the sadness. Jesus tells us to lean back and lift our heads. He tells us to be alert. He tells us as we wait to be prepared and to trust. Amen. I'd like to close with a prayer. Let us pray. Loving God, we are waiting for love without end, without conditions, without violence, without fear. We are waiting for justice without end, without vengeance, without hatred, without lies. We are waiting for peace without end, without displacement, without borders, without war. We are waiting for restoration without end, without favoritism, without fatigue, without debt. We are waiting for joy without end, without reservation, without rebuke, without want. Holy love, divine justice, God of peace, restoration, and joy. We are waiting for you. We need you.